Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. Remember, the good news is we get so bogged down, I think, with disease and getting diagnosed with things. But if the body can get sick, it can also get well. It's about lifestyle. And if you can lifestyle your way in, which most of us do, I mean, the reality is 80 to 85% of the root causes of most health challenges today are in emotional toxins and environmental toxins. So that means our lifestyle depicts a lot of that. What we eat, what we breathe, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the exercise we get or don't get, all that matters. And if we put the right type of environment around us, make better choices, then we can impact our health. So 10 to 15% roughly is genetic. The rest, for the most part, is up to us. So we can make great choices and see an incredible difference in our overall health. Lines are open. You can give us a call. I'm going to go to the phones in just a minute. Make sure you check out our app. A lot of people say, well, I missed the show. I want to re-catch the show. The app replays it until we go live the next day. So if you go to On Call Radio in your iPhone or iPad, you'll find the app there. Just download it, and it's an easy way to listen to the show. Great way to go. Let's go to the phones, talk to Diane. Hi, Diane.
I have a small cyst, and they would like to take it out as well as ovaries, and so they also want to do a colonoscopy at the same time. And I don't really think I want to do either one of them because they took a blood test for cancer. And I understand the number is supposed to be 25. Mine is 26. And I'm not exactly certain what I should do.
It's a really good question because you're in that land where if it's 1 point over the norm, or the range as we call it, then it can warrant just a whole slew of tests. Now, there's two schools of thought. There is, well, don't worry about it. It's that close. Let's keep an eye on it. Or do you do more tests? And it's the beginning stages of something, and you're catching it so early that treatment would be able to intervene and do really well. And most doctors lean toward that mindset, just so you know. So a lot of people get frustrated. They say, well, it's a bunch of unneeded tests, and I don't really want to do that. And I can see that point. But if it was 80 on that number instead of 26, you wouldn't even blink an eye. You'd be like, okay, let's look, let's do it, whatever we got to do. So that's the reality. I like tests. I think testing is a good concept in medicine. I think that it shows us a lot. Just for blood work, let's just take that for example. Okay, there's power in the blood. It is like looking at a blueprint of your body just by looking at blood work. So I think it's a good idea. If your doctors have recommended it, which I'm sure they did because it's pretty much standard of care, I would consider it, because the great news is you would have some medical bills possibly, and it was completely clear. I don't think you'd mind paying for that. And then the worst news is it is something, but you're catching it early, so it's not so bad news when you can actually do something about it early, rather than you sitting on it and a year later they check it and it's up at 100. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a thought. So it's really, this is where your personal health care comes into play, where your doctor makes a suggestion and you really have to kind of sit back, pray about it, and see what works with you. And it's a very personal decision. So I lean toward preventative so much that I like to see what's going on. It's like looking at a microscope inside the body and knowing where the game is. Are you ahead of the game? Are you behind the 8 ball? Where is this thing headed, and what can I do? So, to be proactive, you got to have good information, and the good information is key. So I'm a big fan. 888-283-7272. You're listening to On Call Radio. Check us out on the web. An email came in. American Pharmacy Company always catches our emails and sponsors our emails, really. They are American Pharmacy. If you haven't checked them out, you need to go to americanpharmacycompany.com. Amazing company. I don't just partner with anybody. They do really good work. They've got pharmacists that put together natural compounding creams. They do it in-house. They're natural. They support things like neuropathy. If you've got pain, I've seen people come out of some amazing situations with this. Migraine headaches as well, and also sexual dysfunction with men and women. Both have been shown to be very helpful. You can check them out at AmericanPharmacyCompany.com. and just a super company to work with. They'll ship it right to your door, and guess what? Most of the time, it's free. The reason is because they're Medicare approved, and a lot of times Medicare will pay for it. Amazing. You check them out. John in Baton Rouge, Louisiana says, my 55-year-young mother has just been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. We're very concerned about what the future holds. Can you give some thoughts? There's some thoughts for sure. I mean, Parkinson's, once you're diagnosed, it seems very scary, and it seems like you're just watching and waiting for the symptoms to kick in, and typically that can be the case. But the question is, what can you do proactively? So with Parkinson's, you're looking at dopamine levels in the brain. Okay, dopamine is a neurotransmitter, but we know for a fact that by supporting overall brain chemistry, getting the right kind of nutrition in the body, getting things like heavy metals out of the system, making sure that there's no toxins in the system, you can really get some support, and at least to support the body and build up the body as a whole. So you want to look at that. I mean, I think that's a great way to go. And you can get to an alternative care physician, someone that does more complementary medicine. They're going to be doing a lot more of that type of work, and that can really help. So I would have her evaluated at some level, looking at that. Now, with Parkinson's, too, something you want to look at are high levels of omega-3 fats have been shown in research to be supportive. Vitamin B6 in the version of pyridoxal 5-phosphate. We call it P5P for short. You can find that at health food stores. They're in certain foods like red bell peppers and a lot of the orange-type vegetables, sweet potatoes and that sort of thing. They're loaded in there. And the other key, too, is vitamin D. Now, you can get in the sun, but after the age of 50, we lose the ability to absorb vitamin D by 50%. So sitting out in the sun for 30 minutes a day doesn't become as beneficial many times as taking an organic or whole food-based supplement that will raise your vitamin D levels up. And so typically that's a better way to go. But that's what you want to look at. I mean, when you're dealing with Parkinson's, it's about, because technically from a nutritional standpoint, you've got to figure out where the deficiencies are in the body, what's causing it, and what you can do to build the body back up. I mean, that's the key overall. So get someone, if the physician's probably going to be doing all the standard medical tests, I would get someone that could do a good overall nutritional analysis, whether it's a lifestyle specialist or maybe a dietitian or someone that does naturopathic medicine, someone that can look at things from a nutritional perspective, so you can have that analysis combined with traditional thought to come up with a good game plan. Remember, there's counsel in the wisdom of many. Wisdom in the counsel of many. So it's powerful to be able to do that. You got to have the right team. That's the key. So coming up, we'll jump in. We've got more questions about your health. And also, I'll get some tips for weight loss. A lot of you want to know what to do to drop the belly fat, to lean out and get those abs showing again. And sometimes we get stuck and we think, well, is it in the little roller or gimmick that you saw on TV? Or are there some practical steps that I can do every day? We'll talk about that when we come back.
Want to turn back the clock 15 years and have more energy? This is Dr. Raisa telling you to just breathe with LiveO2. LiveO2 delivers the right amount of oxygen we need for optimal health. Go to liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Your choices matter. So that thing you're drinking right now, eating right now, the food that you're eating, the choice not to exercise this morning when you got up, sleeping a little bit extra. Remember, those little deposits you put in your health account every single day, that is what matters. Back pain is one of the number one reasons that people miss work. Did you know that? It's not colds and flus and all that sort of thing. It's back pain. And they're saying now there's a lot of unnecessary tests that possibly could be leading to, because of back pain, that could be leading into higher medical bills. So MRIs, which is called magnetic resonance imaging, which we've all probably heard of, is used to diagnose low back pain along with x-rays. But MRIs can be useful if there's warning signs that suggest a more serious issue. So a new study showed that patients who got an MRI immediately after a back injury had more doctor visits, physical therapy, and higher medical bills than patients who went without an MRI. So instead, a study showed that doctors who follow current medical guidelines, waiting approximately 6 weeks in most cases to order the MRI, will actually, they say, potentially save the patient a lot of money. The reason is because when there's an acute injury, a lot of times it's a soft tissue that's damaged, and there's the healing process that will happen, and then the person won't still be in pain. See, really, you just need an MRI if there's a potential damage to the disc. So there's a disc in between the different bones, and there's nerves that come out of there. So if you have a disc that's herniated or bulging, you can see that on an MRI, and you can't see that on an X-ray. So you see the top soft tissue. You're able to see the nerves, see if there's any kind of impingement, all that sort of thing. So that's really important to have with the MRIs, to have the data there so you can actually see it. And those that waited on the MRI, the typical standard of care, which is about 6 weeks, a lot of the pain resolved. And that's what was so interesting about it, is that you can avoid a lot of these tests, and they're very expensive. I mean, those things, they add up really, really quickly, and of course, a lot of the therapy visits and all that. One other option, if you do have back pain and you get into a situation, is chiropractic care and osteopathic physicians that do manipulative type work on the spine. The reason is, I mean, that's the main training. It's non-surgical and restructuring of the spine to keep it as healthy as possible. So, and a lot of times they don't order MRIs. They can, and they do. The chiropractic physician will. But it just depends. Depends on the person, on your needs, all that sort of thing. But back pain is a big deal. I think you need to have it addressed. But I also don't think that waiting 6 weeks is the answer either, because if you have bones that are out of position, let's say you have an accident, you fall, you have back pain, you go to your doctor, they put you on a muscle relaxer and pain reliever and anti-inflammatories, and it relieves the pain and you don't hurt. And you think, well, I'm fine. And 6 weeks go by. And in 6 weeks, if it's just a pain, or if it was a slightly strained muscle or sprained ligament around the spine, that will heal up and the pain will go away. So then you're back to normal life and you feel like everything's fine. But at the deep level, the bones that were shifted never got corrected. And the soft tissue that might be having pressure on it is still there. So we have to get to, that's why I think a chiropractic physician is great, because they can get things back where it needs to be, make sure it stays there, and then allow the healing process to really align itself. So it's different schools of thought and the way you want to look at it, but it does make a difference. And just consider that before you start jumping in a bunch of tests. Maybe have a few experts take a look from more of an alternative side that can give you a different opinion. Okay, pretty exciting, because back pain is so prevalent, and if you follow it the right way, you won't have to go out of pocket a lot of money. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You're listening to On Call Radio. Check us out on the web. If you haven't found our lifestyle provider, these are healthcare providers in your area that believe the same way we do, all this nutrition and lifestyle-based care. So you should check it out. I mean, amazing. We have team members growing all around the country to be able to help you really go to that next level with your health. I mean, if you go to your doctor and you get diagnosed with, say, diabetes, or maybe it's heart disease or whatever it is, and they tell you you need to lose weight and you need to eat better, exercise and eat better, and you're like, okay, great, because really that's all they have time to do. And then you leave there, and then you go and you're like, okay, you're scratching your head and you're looking at magazines and the internet going, what in the world do I do? I think it's important to really come up with a game plan. Have someone that can coach you, that can be a lifestyle specialist for you, and really work with you. I mean, it's vital and it's important. So to have someone do that can say, okay, you need to eat this in this way, getting some blood tests done, looking and seeing exactly what your body chemistry is and what it needs. So if not, you're just shooting in the dark, and it's like throwing paint against the wall and hoping it sticks. You know, it just doesn't work that way. Anyway, it's a great way to go. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. Let's go to the phones, talk to Julie. Hi, Julie.
I have high blood pressure, and I'm supposed to have an appointment for to be checked my thyroid, but one of the doctors that that he's not there anymore. He said it might be my hyperthyroid because something was high on the blood test, but I don't remember what it was. And I've just had my appendix took out, and I was wondering if there's anything I need to do, for that.
Well, it's a possibility. I mean, I think that having it fully evaluated would be the right thing to do. And I would even get to another level and have someone that can check and see if you have any nutritional deficiencies. I mean, that's one of the big keys to get to the root cause of what's happening. Many times it becomes something simple like a B vitamin deficiency, or there could be some type of your system like the adrenal glands that are just not working well. So I would get with a lifestyle specialist that can evaluate it from that point of view and then combine it with what you're getting on the traditional side of thought and put the two together and come up with a great game plan. It's not just as simple as go eat an orange and it'll be okay, right? Or go out and exercise 10 minutes a day. You need more data. And when you get more data and more information, you can come up with a great, great game plan. 888-283-7272. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
You're listening to On Call Radio. Check us out on the web. Figs are great foods. You're thinking, wow, fig Newtons, great. That's what you're promoting now? Now we can eat a whole bag of them. Not really. You can't do that. You know that. I'm talking about figs, the real figs. So our food of the hour, of course, one of my favorite things is to talk about foods and how powerful they are. Food is our best medicine in so many ways. And if we put the right kind of foods in, we can make a huge impact in our health. Figs have incredible benefits to them. Now, they're loaded with potassium. They're really good for lowering blood pressure. And the potassium is a mineral that helps to control blood pressure. That's why we always, in medicine, talk about it, utilize it. And you get plenty of it in fruits and vegetables. But the challenge is that only 1.5% of Americans are actually eating fruits and vegetables. That's the challenge. And we consume high amounts of salt and sodium, for the most part, in our diet, and not enough potassium, which leads to the hypertension. So that's one of the big deals you've got to look at. But figs are loaded with it, and it's a great, easy way to get them on a regular basis. A sweet way to lose weight. Figs are now a good source of dietary fiber, we know, and the fiber-rich foods have a positive effect on weight management. So it's a great way if you're looking to lose weight, feel better, then the figs can help do that. And a fruit and cereal bar, fiber, they say, can be protective against breast cancer postmenopausal. But the figs themselves, they actually make a couple of bars. Laura bars, I believe, have figs in them, and they're completely organic. It's a great way to go. And then Step One Foods actually has some bars that have figs in them as well, step1foods.com. And believe it or not, foods that are actually designed to lower cholesterol and lower blood pressure. So you can go to step1foods.com. I'm a huge fan of that company. They do really, really good work, produce great products. So insulin lowering issues too. So when you think about the fig tree, you don't think much about except the fig. But the leaves of the fig leaves, you've heard of fig leaves, right? The fig leaf, when it's added to any type of shake or your meals, cut up into a salad, actually has some very strong blood sugar lowering properties that it can do. It's also a bone density promoter. Figs are a big source of calcium. About in 8 ounces, they have about 80 milligrams of calcium, which is a mineral, of course, has a lot of different functions in the body, but one of the number one is promoting some serious bone density. A lot of cardiovascular benefits, too. In a lot of the studies, the fig leaves have been shown to lower the levels of triglycerides, those are your blood fats, and also cuts down on your cholesterol, so it helps lower the LDL cholesterol. That's the bad cholesterol, and raises the good cholesterol. All that is really important. I mean, figs, it's something so simple, it's amazing. Here's one that's really interesting too. So the figs can actually help against macular degeneration. So macular degeneration, of course, is a real challenge for a lot of people. We're actually seeing it more and more, especially in women as they age. But the figs themselves actually help against that. So just 2 or 3 figs a day in your meals, whatever you want to do as a snack, maybe throw a couple of almonds with it, is a great way to just support the body in so many different ways. And remember, food can be our best medicine, and it's about putting the right kind of foods in, and it can make a big impact on our overall health. Figs are one of my favorites. I really, really enjoy them, and I never had them until years ago. And I'll tell you, they taste really, really good. They're easy to carry, easy to pick up at the store, and keep with you. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Lines are open. You give us a call or go to the website. And if you're looking for one of our lifestyle providers, healthcare provider in your area that believes the same way we do, all this nutrition and lifestyle-based care we talk about, you can find that information at the website. Just go there, and our team members are always, always happy to help you. Let's go to the phones, talk to Dale. Hi, Dale.
I've had problems with A1C test creeping up over the years. And I'd like to know if there's any foods to add or eliminate to help this.
Well, your hemoglobin A1C is the big marker for diabetes, okay? So it marks over about an 8 to 10 week period of your blood sugar when you take the A1C. So it's not like blood glucose, blood sugar just shows where your blood was, your sugar was yesterday. And the A1C, or for that moment rather, and for the A1C, it'll show it up to 8 weeks prior as an overall average of what's been in the body. So the A1C is a really good marker, and if it's creeping up, you just got to think, what can I do, not just for the A1C, but what can I do to stabilize blood sugar in my body as a whole? That's what you need to think of. So one of the keys I would look at, and this is really, really important, is I would look at one of the major deals that you want to look at here is your overall eating strategy. I mean, that first and foremost is going to be it, because whether diabetes or just hypoglycemia or you're just concerned about it, you have to eat the right kind of foods. So the deal is 3 meals a day, a couple of snacks in between is a great way to go. And the reason is you want to make sure you have steady flow of nutrients coming in every 3 hours throughout the day. So breakfast, you would do something with some kind of protein, equal amounts of lean protein sources like chicken, fish, beef, or eggs, low glycemic carbohydrates in the form of fruits and veggies, and then healthy fats, your almonds, your walnuts, your cashews, your avocados. Putting the right kind of fats in makes a big difference. So you have to do that in sync, because here's what happens. When you eat a carbohydrate like a piece of fruit, if you have some almonds with it or a piece of chicken, it balances out your blood sugar levels. That's the key. And so if you don't eat those kind of foods, then your blood sugar can go haywire, which is what put you in there in the first place. So it's just about putting the right kind of foods in and getting the right kind of nutrition. That matters. And then some other keys too, just if your A1C is all over the place, there's some supplements that are really good. At our website, you'll be able to find a lot of these. There's one called Nutrient Balance, and it helps to stabilize and support healthy blood sugar levels. You can find that, but it's different components in it that really, really help to clear things. And don't forget a good fish oil also. We just don't get enough of it in our food supply, and having enough fish, because of the omega-3 fatty acids, it's proven in all the research to make a difference, okay? To make a difference in balancing out blood sugar levels. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. We're here for you each and every day. That's what we do here. Pretty exciting. If you're psoriasis and have psoriasis building up in the skin, then here's some tips, because skin conditions we're seeing more and more conditions of. And although we need to handle it from the outside just to get some relief, like if you have itching or if there's a rash or anything like that, and you want to get some relief to it, then you've got to use some of the creams and things that are available. But remember, most skin conditions happen from the inside out, not the outside in. So you've got to tackle it from what's on the inside and what goes out. So that's really your number one piece, okay? Now, there's a lot of sun protection that you can be given, and skincare habits you want to look at if you deal with psoriasis. Here's a couple of them. So you want to avoid skin injuries such as nicks, cuts, and bug bites, okay, especially if you have super sensitive skin. And one of the best ways to stop itching is to treat the psoriasis, and one of the ways to do that, coconut oil is amazing. All right, now coconut oil is highly antifungal, so if there's any kind of bacterial, fungal, any kind of issue like that, then the coconut oil is very good and very supportive to that. The other thing, too, is one of the best ways to stop the itching is to start treating it in the gut and start helping the gut get healthy. And what I mean by that is things like probiotics. You've heard of probiotics? They put the good bacteria back in the gut. You can get them in a little pill form. Go to our website. We've got several on there. Theralac is probably the best I've seen for probiotics. I mean, literally, you can only get to where you take one a week. They're so potent and just absorb in an incredible way. So I would look at that. The other key that you want to look at, too, you got to be careful not to scratch it, okay? So one of the things, you don't want to get infected, and there's so much bacteria that hangs out underneath our nails, so you got to be really careful not to scratch it and break the skin. So that's one of the major issues you got to look at. But when you're looking at it from the inside out, it's about clearing out yeast, fungal issues, heavy metals. It's about clearing out the inside of the gut and the digestive health, making sure you got plenty of good, healthy bacteria. And omega-3s with psoriasis tend to be one of the big deficiencies. I like the oil, and I like cod liver oil because it's got vitamin A and vitamin D in it, and I think we need both. So it's important, maybe a tablespoon a day for adults, teaspoon for kids, depending on their weight. And again, most labels that you see will give you the weight difference between them, so you'll know exactly what to do. But that's a good overall routine, that right there. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. If you're looking for a lifestyle provider, someone in your area that believes the same way we do, just check out the website. You'll find team members there. You can call us at the same number, and our team members are always standing by. And I've got great stories. You go to the website, you'll see them. People have lost like 95 pounds, lost 30 and 40 pounds, have more energy, and just have such vitality for life. It's exciting to see. And at the end of the day, you really want to know that you're taking the best care of your health, the best care of your body that you can. Because no one's going to take responsibility for your health but you. No one will. So your friends, your family members, your coworkers, your loved ones, no one can take responsibility. You have to. You have to step up. You have to exercise more, eat better, make better choices, and just begin to thrive. And on this show, that's what it's about. That's why we're here, to help you empower your lifestyle. Go to the website. All kinds of great information there. If you missed something that I said because I talked too fast, you can find it at the website to be able to help you and encourage you and take you to that next level. Coming up, we'll jump in. I've got some more questions about your health. I see you waiting there. And we'll get into a little bit of our social media and some interesting questions there when we come back.
Want to turn back the clock 15 years and have more energy? This is Dr. Raisa telling you to just breathe with LiveO2. LiveO2 delivers the right amount of oxygen we need for optimal health. Go to liveO2.com. That's liveO2.com.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show. When we're talking about cholesterol, and it's one of the top issues that men start facing in their mid-40s. Okay, middle-aged men, they say, with cholesterol levels now are at greater risk for a first heart attack than women are. They've done a study with Norwegian researchers, and they did about 40,000 men and women under the age of 60 with high cholesterol had more than 3 times the risk of having a heart attack compared to women with high cholesterol. In middle age, our results suggest that high cholesterol is much more detrimental for men than women. And Dr. Eric Madsen did a study on this from the Department of Circulation and Medical Imaging at Norwegian University in Trondheim. He said men under 60 have been diagnosed and treated for high cholesterol more aggressively than what is often the case today. And to reduce the risk of heart attack, men should be counseled about making lifestyle changes such as diet and exercise, and as well as taking medications like statins and things like Lipitor and some of the other classic statins that are out there, just to be cautious and make sure the side effects don't affect them in a negative way. But one expert said it's important for men and women to keep their cholesterol in check, and I agree with that. I think getting lab tests done, getting blood work numbers done on a regular basis is important. That men have a higher risk of heart attacks at an earlier age than women do. Matter of fact, there's about a 10-year risk differential between the two. It's also been shown that higher cholesterol levels are an independent risk factor for men and women, in both sexes deriving similar benefits in terms of protection from cardiovascular disease with statins. So the use of lifestyle modification and statin therapy is one of the most effective. I mean, it still is. That's what we call standard of care. But there's also other options. Okay, there's things like red yeast rice if you want to use more of an alternative method. Niacin, which is vitamin B3. So niacin and red yeast rice work together. But don't just take a bunch of pills and hope for the best and go eat your fast food burgers. That's not going to work. So your diet has to be right. And you've got to be getting plenty of the good healthy fats, your omega-3s, 6s, and 9s. All that needs to be in check, and you're eating the right kind of foods. I mean, that is critically important. So your cholesterol, remember, fat is cholesterol. I mean, it has cholesterol in fat, and it's made in the liver. So you've got good cholesterol and you got bad cholesterol. Now, they're both really good. You just don't get a ton of the LDL, which we call the bad cholesterol. It's only bad if it sticks around. It doesn't clear out of the body. Okay? So that's one of the big deals that we got to focus on. And men, don't forget how important exercise is. When you get into your 40s, your exercise routine becomes your greatest weapon against heart disease. So running, jogging, weightlifting, doing some form of cardiovascular health to really improve your overall level of fitness. I mean, you have to get moving. It's an absolute key. And you can't just sit back and lollygag. Really got to get your body moving on a regular basis to keep it healthy. You can't just sit back. Sitting all day long, all that is detrimental to your health. And if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And it's true. It's not just some weird thing that we hear our parents say when we're kids. Like, it really does matter. If you don't create flexibility, you'll lose it. You'll get all stiff. If you don't exercise, you'll lose it. If you don't keep playing sports, you'll start to diminish in your skills of being able to be coordinated and play certain sports and do certain things and all that. So it's important to keep all that up. It really is. I mean, do little things. Go out to the beach and throw football if you're a football player. Run and catch a pass. I mean, little things like that, you'd be amazed at how you lose that. And you think in your mind, well, I just did that yesterday and it's been 20 years ago. Or if you go out and jet ski or if you ride a bike. And I'll never forget when I started mountain biking, and I had not ridden a bike in like 20 years, just through all the schooling and everything I had done. And I raced bikes when I was a kid. And I thought, oh, this is nothing. I used to be a high-level racer, and I got on the bike and we're hitting the trails with it and just felt so uncomfortable and so unsteady that it took me a while to get that back. So you lose that as time goes on, and it takes time to sharpen it again. So whatever it is, I'll say that to say this, that our physical fitness and there are lifestyle choices that we make every single day that we need to continue. We need to continue in our high levels of fitness so that we stay strong and that we keep our heart healthy. And it comes down to nutrition, and it comes down to blood work, and it comes down to making the right choices. I get all that. But it really comes down to us staying active and keeping active and making sure that our health really is our top priority, and it's our greatest wealth. That is the key. 888-283-7272. You're listening to On Call Radio. That's 888-283-7272. Give me a call. Let's go to the phones, talk to Frank. Hi, Frank.
I've got a couple of herniated discs in my neck, and the neurosurgeon wants to do some, there's another surgery. I've already had two. And but I'm living in pain all the way down from my neck all the way down through the length of my back into my hips and into my upper part of my leg. And sometimes it hurts so bad to just sit down. I can hardly do it. If you could give me some kind of direction on that or what that might be, I would appreciate it.
Okay. Well, one thing you've got to do is you've got to focus on, with the back pain, you've got to focus on a couple things. Number one, when you've got the neuropathy going down the leg, one of the keys, vitamin B6, which is a simple vitamin, can be found in a health food store, and it's been shown in studies actually to come in and support neuropathy. So one of the keys, that's very helpful. Omega-3 fatty acids is really important too. And if you haven't been seen by a chiropractic physician, I would have you go in and at least get a consultation, or an osteopathic physician, but someone that works non-surgical, because you can really look and see and get evaluated from a neurological perspective what exactly is, if there's pressure on the nerve or if it's more nutritional in nature. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producer, Jay Patrick, engineer John Garrison, and the rest of the team. Go tell one person something you learned on the show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the show that helps you get well, stay well, and live well, where we're diagnosing hope one person at a time.
Listen to the ASA RX audio experience on Spotify and Pandora. For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the ASA RX audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.